So I was sitting on the toilet the other day with knives in my mind, steels, grinds, brands, best, and I got to thinking, suddenly, why on earth are we okay with wiping our butts with toilet paper? The technology exists to clean our asses better, with far less involvement of our hands, and with far more sturdy technology than a thin sheet of toilet paper. How do we get here? You would never clean a food stain off your kitchen bench with just a dry piece of paper. You'd at least use some water first. Why do we stand for this norm, where cleaning poop off our own bodies is done in just such a way? Pushing the waste around, getting most of it. Would you settle for getting most of the raw chicken residue from your cutting board? Just push it around with some dry paper? I don't know about you, but when it comes to poop, I don't like settling for most. Big TP, Hollywood, mass media, all ridiculing the bidet as a tool for the eccentric. Well, to them I say, no sir. You're the one who's eccentric. Maintaining the status quo of keeping the human finger a millimetre from the arse during this daily task. It's like you want people touching their own asses. Why is it cleaning your butt with water only suspect when you're sitting on a toilet? Do we not clean ourselves in the shower with water every day? Using toilet paper is equivalent of taking a hand car in the age of aviation. And I think I like hollow grinds best. Hi. We're talking today about some 3V versus some Sleipner. So I've got two new bushcraft knives, the Benchmade 200 Puukko and the Lionsteel B40. What I've done is I've taken these both to a 17-degree polished edge using the same method, which is a KME sharpening system. These beards growing a bit unevenly. So we're going to cut some paper with these knives. We're going to cut some rope with these knives until they no longer slice a held sheet of paper. And the number of rope cuts they do before they stop doing that will be the end result. It's going to be interesting because I hear this Benchmade 3V is very, very soft. And that would be, almost reflected in the sharpening ease of these two knives. This was an easier knife to sharpen than this knife. On paper, this should cut longer than this in terms of just recipe chemistry only. It's got more carbide forming elements in it than this stuff here. This is like a D2 mod Sleipner. It's actually got less carbon than usual D2. So yeah, I'm very interested. I hear this is at 60 Rockwell. I hear this is as low as 56, so I just don't know. We're going to cut rope with both of them until we find out. So stay tuned, let's get into it. First is Le Benchmade. Stop at 180, see how that's looking. 180. That is the end of the test. 180. The Lionsteel B40 in Sleipner. 300 with the Sleipner. Point of the knife that's taken the most stress is now sort of fluffing the paper rather than slicing through it, so that is where I'll stop the test. Well, there you have it. So the result from this single test with these two single knives, this knife cut considerably better than this knife. I'm told this is Sleipner at 60 Rockwell hardness, and this is 3V, and I'm told it's at 56, but I'm not sure about that. I can't speak for all of them, but yes, even when I inspect the edges, this Benchmade has certainly deteriorated, like visibly. You can see some shiny spots on the edge where it's now, that's where the dullness is coming into effect. Whereas this one, you can sort of feel a slight bumpiness, which is sort of how it starts to feel on the affected part, which is just there. But still, they're both still quite sharp knives. So it's not disastrous. It's just making a bit of makes a bit of a ragged cut. That's all. But yeah, that's what this tests, like how soon they lose that absolute sharpness on the apex. So yeah, this doesn't mean everything. It doesn't mean much, perhaps, to you or not. But certainly to me, I would dare say that this knife for me is going to hold an edge for longer than this knife. That being said, 180 cuts even is a good amount of sisal rope to be cutting, especially for a bushcraft knife, which is going to be used against wood. And this doesn't take into account toughness, stain resistance, any of that other good stuff either. So that's the knife lab for the day. Hope you've enjoyed it. Join the bidet gang. See you later.